Okay, hi guys, welcome to session 5 for our tempo build. A slightly longer session today, but it's I guess you'd say a touch easier. So let's get started with a little bit of walk for us to chat through the session. So you'll notice the workout is on pause at the moment, so we won't start the actual 10-minute build up warm up just yet. But that's how we're starting off. Normal kind of 10-minute kind of building up through sort of zone 2 from a 2 to 4 out of 10 as usual. Then we'll pause for some dynamic stretches. Going to keep them kind of really short today, simply because it's cold, and actually I thought it's an opportunity to kind of show you what to do when it's cold. In short, it's basically just get through it quicker. So we'll stop for some dynamics before we then return for another 3 minutes of easy running before we kind of get into it. And this session we're focusing in on half marathon pacing. Okay, so we've basically got 2 10-minute sections at half marathon pace, so a 6 out of 10 effort, and broken up by 3 minutes of just walking. And so, yeah, I want to use this session as an opportunity to really kind of hone in on particularly what half marathon pace feels like. Because half marathon, I find with athletes, is the kind of distance where people get the pacing the most wrong. I think it's kind of somewhere in the middle. And so, half marathon and 10Ks that get paced kind of erratically sometimes. So I really want to nail it today on what it should feel like. And then the idea is that we build a little bit of fatigue in the legs with those 2 half marathon paced efforts, and then we're just going to finish off with some 5k bursts. Okay, so can you pace those 5k bursts with a bit of fatigue on your legs? And also they're quite short as well, so it'd be really interesting to see how you do pacing wise on those 5k efforts, because the temptation would definitely be there to kind of just go really quite hard. And that's what we actually want to avoid. So spoiler alert, don't go too hard on the 5k efforts at the end. So right, we'll start the workout now, shall we? So we're just going to do our normal kind of pick up, so just lifting it up a little bit from a walk into a very gentle jog, so 2 out of 10 at the moment. Should be able to speak very comfortably. This is actually just a bit too comfortable, so I'm just going to speed it up a bit. Sort of caught in between walking and running. That sort of awkward phase where you're not sure what to do with your legs. So yeah, and then in our little chat, what we're going to be talking about is how to kind of track progress, basically. Now there's quite a few different ways that you can test progress and benchmark, etc. And it really depends on what your goals are. So your testing, your benchmarking, whatever method you use, should reflect what you're trying to achieve. So, the first and obvious example is one of our kind of most common tests or benchmarking exercises. Just lifting the effort a touch. So maybe like a 3 out of 10. One of my favourite tests is just a simple 5k. Okay, we always really recommend doing that as part of a park run. A little bit of competition, a little bit of friendly competition, no sort of stress. It's not a big event, it's just your local park run. But that competition just gives you a little bit extra motivation to get the most out of yourself. That's a really obvious one. It kind of covers a lot of things, particularly for us triathletes. Kind of gives us a gauge of what their run could be like on a sprint triathlon. Obviously taking a little bit off for the fact that you would have got a lot of fatigue on the swim and the bike. That's a really obvious one. When that wouldn't be, or it's not as relevant when it comes to marathon type training. It can help with that in the sense that you use your 5k pace to set your pacing zones, etc. And there's actually a really useful tool called Jack Daniel's VDOT. Jack Daniel's spelled as in the whiskey, but a totally different project, I think. I'm sure. But yeah, that's a really good way of extrapolating kind of run data to give you a sense of the sort of pacing that you could do over different distances. And 5k is usually a good one for inputting data into that, but there are a lot of assumptions involved. So just increasing effort a little bit. Now, just kind of going up to 3.5 out of 10. Okay, so 5k assessment is a really obvious one. It's probably the most commonly used one, definitely the one we use most often with our runners and triathletes. In terms of how often, I'd say like every 8 weeks. I think is 8 to 12 weeks. It does again depend on the athlete, where they are in their season. You don't want to do too much testing in the middle of the race season for obvious reasons. Over the winter, every 8 to 12 weeks, doing a 5k assessment. And the thing is, you're not always looking for improvement in terms of the time. But for an assessment, I think it's something to stress. It's just kind of getting an idea of where you're at that point in time. So particularly in the winter, volume is down. You may not be PBing, but you want to get a sense of where you're at, where you need to build from, and how much work you've got to do. Okay? But that's just one example of quite like a formal testing method. But then there's tons and tons of other ways you can benchmark and test that are less kind of formal and are more kind of objective specific. So one of the things we like to do is use Strava segments over hills, over little courses. Because again, there's a touch of competition involved in terms of where you are on the leaderboard. But ideally though, the athlete is more interested in competition with themselves. But Strava segments are great. You probably do them more regularly, and you can pick one that really aligns with your objective. So we often use hill segments, both bike and run. It's a really useful way of tracking progress because it's direct in terms of its application, and the athlete can see immediately how well they're doing. But there's other ways. You know, you can use Strava segments for a particular length hill. If you've got a hilly course and you need to work out what your capabilities are in the hills or what have you. But there's other things. So for instance, one of the things that we actually like doing is assessing how good an athlete is at pacing and whether we need to have a friendly word. So one of the things we like to do is an easy hour run and say you're not allowed to look at your watch, your running watch, or your pacing throughout that, and just see how easy they actually go and whether they are instinctively within that sort of zone 2 region or not. One of the ones we like to do. We usually don't do it that often, but we definitely do it with less experienced athletes. It's kind of a way of just sort of objectively presenting them with their own poor pacing or good pacing, which is always a good surprise. So that's one way you can kind of benchmark and assess in a more ad hoc way. But there's more sort of intense and slightly aggressive assessments as well, like hill reps to exhaustion. How many hill reps over a certain distance can someone do before they're done, to assess like their climbing ability, their power, and their sort of anaerobic capacity. So you can do something similar on the track with 400 meter reps and they have to stay within 10 seconds of their 400 time. Yeah, it's going to increase that, but again a little bit. little bit more, up to nearly a 4 out of 10. But then likewise, one assessment that we like doing is getting athletes doing kind of 3K efforts, 3K courses. It's a real kind of test of their VO2 max. And we'll do it twice and see what the drop off is between the 3K efforts. And it's just basically the point is, if you've got an objective that you want to achieve, there's always a benchmarking exercise that you can form. Sometimes you just got to be a little bit imaginative. Okay. Now definitely up to 4 out of 10 now. So it's your first reminder to relax, shoulders down, lift the chin, relax the hands, and start driving the knees. Okay, good leg lift. Sorry, I just realised it's 12.1 and the 0.1 was bothering me. That's how much of a weirdo I am. It's nice to relax for the last minute. So in this session, in a way, we're going to be benchmarking you, we're going to be assessing you. How well can you hold a long steady state effort without getting carried away, and then how well can you pace? 5K effort is only about a minute long. Do you go too fast? Here we go, so last 35 seconds, and then we'll pause. Nice and chill. Last 10. Okay, we're just going to pause there. And we're going to move over onto the mat. Okay. Let's take the camera down. I missed it earlier when I was setting up. Okay, so let's say we're going to do this really nice and quick. So imagine it's the depths of winter, what it kind of is at the moment, time of filming, but that's the kind of mentality. You don't want to stop for too long. So what we're going to do, let's do some calf raises. Okay, what I want you to do is push your heels together like so. Okay, like that. So that's going to really engage the inside of your calf and get that big toe activation. So we're just going to do 10 of these. Okay, drawing the heels together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right onto your toe. 6, 7, 8. Push those heels together. 9 and 10. Okay, then we're just going to do some high knees. Do 20 of these. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. Then some bum kicks. 1, 3, 4, 8, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20. And then going straight into our leg swings. Okay, so it's kicking higher with each one. Make sure we're kicking back 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then leg swings across the body. You can do this facing something for stability. Do it facing the camera. 7, 8, 9, 10. Onto the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then arm swims, going forwards, making sure your arms coming in right in close to your ears. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then go backwards. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then across the body. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, and that's it. Okay, so now going back to the treadmill or getting ready to run again, whatever your situation is. Yeah. All right, so we're doing a very nice and quick start. Just kind of wanted to be a demonstration of kind of what you can get away with in the winter when it's cold and you don't want to relax too much. You don't want to get cold. Okay, so right. So straight back into it. Okay, building up to a run again. So just steadily building through the zones. You don't need to kind of get quick sip of fluids if you've got any. Building up into a run up to the zone 4. Zone 4, zone 2, out to a 4 out of 10. That's what I was trying to say. Some days when I do these sessions, the brain just does not work. Okay, so striding out, starting to lift the knees, getting a new max leg lift, and once you're up to pace, up to effort, 4 out of 10, start to relax the shoulders, the hands, keep the chin up, etc. You know the drill. So, what we're up to, we have got 2 10-minute intervals, half marathon pace. Okay, so that is a 6 out of 10. It should be a strong effort, but not hard. Okay, with a half marathon, it's really the last 10k or maybe 5k where you want to kind of let loose. You should be well paced until then. I see it time and time again. I've done it on a few occasions where I paced half marathon terribly because you're maybe looking at an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's not that long comparatively to like a marathon, say, or a triathlon. So you think, oh, I can smash that, particularly if you're a real quickie. But it grinds you down, and so you've got to be really sensible at the start of half marathon. And if anything, it's better that you're more conservative or too conservative at the start rather than going too quick. Because you're too conservative, you're talking, a minute, 2 minutes. You're ambitious, you're talking 10, 15 minutes lost because you got the cliff and your pace just comes to a standstill. So be more conservative than more ambitious, okay? Let's give it a go in 40 odd seconds. We're gonna steadily build up to a 6 out of 10. That's the other thing about start of half marathon. Build into it. I can remember doing one a few years ago and I went straight up the pace. And that acceleration was probably mostly anaerobic. And I felt it. I felt it in the hills. Okay. So chin up, 15 seconds. And I'm just gonna steadily pick the pace up. Here we go. Just slowly build. So let's say we're at a 5 out of 10 right now. Save the first minute. Just build steadily into it. Six out of 10, remember. You've got good experience now, looking at session 5, of what 5k pace feels like. If you're anywhere near that level of effort, you're going too hard. This has to be an effort that you can sustain for, an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever your ability is, your level. So a minute down. Hopefully getting up towards pace now. So you should feel strong. You shouldn't be suffering. And a really important thing when you're doing this kind of effort is relax into it. Okay? It's not like a super easy effort where your mind can drift, but you should be relatively relaxed, focused. In the knees. I would say like half marathon pace is where you really should try to feel that knee lift, that drive. You can get away with more shuffle in a marathon. But half marathon, we want to be strong. We want our chest forward. Now, little reminder what to do. Shoulders down, shoulders up, hands are relaxed. Just not a fist, fingers loosely together. Quarter of the way already. Should be feeling pretty manageable. Well done, guys. Maintaining a steady effort. If it starts to feel hard, just take it down a notch. The other thing about half marathon is, you want a nice steady pace, but sometimes you do get it wrong, and you've got to have the confidence and maturity. If you're going too hard, just take it down a notch. Just ease off. If you are going too hard, it's no big deal. Then, if you need to, if you just need a second, just need to calm down a bit, you perhaps got a bit overexcited, you just need a moment, ease off, and you can increase the pace back to where you want it to be, or where it should be. And you just might find, oh, actually, it's easier now. Yes, we want a nice steady pace, but races rarely happen like that. There's ups and downs, all to do with your psychology as well. But sometimes you also just need to coach your body into it. And one of the things that we're trying to achieve with these sessions is that confidence in your decision making. It's understanding what's going on in your body and reacting to it, rather than trying to force a situation, chasing your time. Half marathon is quite a long race, really. And so anything can happen. You might be feeling awful at the start, but then half an hour in, boom, legs engaged. You feel like a monster. There's always time to recover and go again. It doesn't have to be a linear, pace progression. Less than halfway to go. 4.5 minutes. Feel strong, not hard. You should just about be able to talk. You won't really be enjoying it, just as I but you should be able to just about say a few words. I just think of it as sort of effort where if you're running or cycling with a mate that's stronger than you and they're chatting away, and it's the point where you just wish they would shut the hell up. Mind and relax. Well done. Approaching 3 minutes to go. Two minutes. Approaching 3/4 of the way through. 2.5 minutes of strong work left. Here you go. Nice and steady, nice and relaxed.
I got that flow, I got that swag, I got that that your mama wish she had. I take it slow, but somehow you still last. So if you want that glow, you better relax.
Last 2 minutes. Staying steady. Stay speed up. 6 out of 10 effort. It's in the last 90 seconds. Not far away now.
I got that flow, I got that swag, I got that that your mama wish she had. I take it slow, but somehow you still last. So if you want that glow, you better relax.
Yeah, approaching the last minute. Keep it steady. Nearly there. $45.
I got that flow, I got that swag.
Last 30. Stay relaxed.
Your mama wish she had. I take it slow, but somehow you still last. So if you want that glow,
20.
better relax.
And 2 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And relax. Well done. So just down to walking pace now. Just chilling out. Sweaty boys, eh? So just down to walking pace now. Moving. You shouldn't be feeling completely blown up. I don't get me wrong, you feel that effort, but yeah, I mean, it should feel like 10 minutes of hour and a half, whatever effort. You know, feel nice and warm, basically. But if you don't feel like that. I feel like it's so easy. It's when it's relatively short interval at a not hard pace. Very easy to think, oh, I'm not working hard enough. I need to go faster. I need that burn. The session isn't about that. The burn comes at the end of the session. Okay, so this right now, just kind of feeling a little bit of fatigue into our legs. That's all we're trying to do. Hard work is at the end of the session. Okay. And it's really important. Like I say, the half marathon distance is where we see the most kind of cock-ups, to be blunt. Particularly at the start of a race. You know, people running at 5k pace because perhaps they've tapered and they feel amazing. It's so easy to get carried away, and I say this from experience. So it's just really important that you have a really good understanding of all the things that we talked about. So where your heart rate should be, where your pace should be, and how you should perceive the effort. And that perception of effort can get a bit skewed when it comes to the beginning of a race. So that's why you've got to be familiar with kind of all three different metrics, really. Okay. Now they're just nice and chilled. So on this second one, the second effort, if you are being true to pace, true to effort, perceived effort, start to, once we kind of get 4 or 5 minutes in, start glancing at your heart rate. Give yourself a good indicator for future half marathon efforts. And I think over time, you just start to glance at this stuff, you'll get a really good appreciation of where your heart rate should be. Because, you know, we can set training zones, etc., and heart rate zones, and they're incredibly useful, but they are relatively arbitrary. And actually what you want to know is specifically what does half marathon effort feel like and look like. Anyway, right, here we go. So building steadily back into it, going through the zone. So tick them off as you go. So 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, and then eventually up to 6 out of 10. Your acceleration really should be that slow, if not slower, really. Not 0.1, no, even not, okay. Back up to 6 out of 10. So let's say, give your heart rate time to kind of get up to level. 4 or 5 minutes in, I'll try to remember to remind you, it's kind of my job, to look at heart rate. So one thing's for sure, you should be well under kind of threshold heart rate. My avatar's been a bit creepy at the moment. Stalking some young lady. Good boy. Okay, so 90 seconds in. First reminder to relax. Shoulders down, chin up. Gets forwards. Nice leg drive. Hands are relaxed though. Go too hard on the last one. How you feel it? When you have a race pace goal, it's important to acknowledge that that is an average pace. Doesn't mean that you have to be at it right from the start. Particularly if you've got enough for a strong finish at the end. That last 5k, you can boost that average pace significantly. You're over a quarter of the way through already. Well done. Okay, that's 4 minutes down. A quick glance at your heart rate. Where is it? There should be sort of half marathon, like half right now. That's what the zone 3, if you like your zones. Just take it in. Where is it right now? And just kind of remember that. So for future half marathon efforts, yeah, how's it compare? And over time, you'll have a pretty clear indicator of where your heart rate should be. But you can see my heart rate shoots every time I talk. We're halfway now. There we go, halfway. 5 minutes of strong, not hard work. Just relax. Get that chin back up. Shoulders down. Just over 4 minutes to go. Keep it steady. No, well, the end I wasn't paying attention there. Don't relax too much. The noise that I made. Slightly emasculating, but there we go. Got to stay humble. Okay, last 3 minutes coming up. Approaching 3/4 of the way through. Quick check on our perception of effort. How hard are you working? Now have a look at your heart rate. Look at your pace. Last 2 minutes of strong work. Nice leg drive. Keep pumping those knees back and forwards. Chest is still nice and proud. Chin is up. One of the reasons I do actually like running on the treadmill with a screen in front of me. I'm really bad looking down. Approaches me. Lift my chin a bit. Last 90, final. Reminder to relax. Best you can. Strong but not hard. Minute. We're near there. Seconds. Keep it steady, nice and calm. Just introducing a bit of fatigue. Shouldn't be dying. Less than 20. Ten. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Have that. Well done, guys. It's a long, steady state work done. Now dropping to a nice walk. So your heart rate should come down pretty quick, and your breathing rate should come down pretty quick. If you're finding that you're really kind of gasping for air, a little bit of an indicator that you might have gone too hard. Okay? It should be glad that's over, but I'm pretty chill again straight away. That's the kind of recovery rate. Obviously depends on your fitness level as to how quick that happens, but bit of fluids. We've only got 2 minutes. So we've got a bit of fatigue in our legs, just enough to know that we've done something. We've got 5k efforts. 5 1 minute 5k efforts, okay? So 5 times 1 minute's at 8 out of 10. And one of the things you really want to be curious about is how your perception of effort changes, okay? And how that impacts your pace. So actually, it might be a bit counterintuitive. You might think, oh, I'll find it really hard to get up to 5k pace. What I tend to find with this session is actually, because you've done steady state for so long at a strong effort, the perception of what hard means, what an 8 out of 10 means, gets a bit skewed. I think people tend to run too hard in a 1 minute effort. So really intrigued, because at the end of the session you kind of want to get it done. You want to be feeling strong, powerful, hopefully. Just kind of gun it. That's not what we're about. Because they're only 1 minute long, you are going to have to accelerate relatively quickly. That might sort of skew things a little bit, but then we'll go up to an 8 out of 10. So 2 steps above what we were just working at, okay? So 30 seconds. Okay. For about 10 seconds, I'm gonna start getting you jogging a little bit again. Okay? Just so you're not kind of starting from almost a standstill. Okay? So let's start building back into a jog. Okay, just up to a 4 out of 10. And then in 5 seconds, we're gonna crank it up. Okay, here we go. 5k effort. 8 out of 10. Drive those knees, keep the chin up, and try and stay relaxed. So notice the difference in your leg lift. Knees should be really pumping it now, but still able to remain relaxed. chest is perhaps out a little bit more. Seconds. You only get 30 seconds recovery, remember. 10. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and relax. Back down to walking pace. Getting ready to go back up. Okay. 10 seconds, start building into a jog again. Okay, back up to 5k pace. Yes, these constant accelerations and decelerations are annoying. Bear with me. There's only 5 of them. Drive those knees. Do your checklist down your body. While you relax, just chin up. Knees are pumping. Dirty. Last 15, 8 out of 10 effort, remember. And you do this effort for circa 15-20 minutes. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Down to walking pace. That's 2 down, 3 to go. Walking through a stream at the moment. Okay, time to build again. Stay focused. I set that for myself as well. So sit back into a jog. And then up we go. Back up to an 8 out of 10 again. Drive those knees. Let the knees kind of lead you. Halfway. Eight out of 10 effort. 15. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back down to walking pace. That's 3 down. Just 2 more to go, guys. Stay focused. Stay motivated. Down to walking pace. Getting ready. Jog again. Okay. Right, building it. Ultimate effort. Here we go. Building up steadily. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, up to 5k. Drive the knees. Back to effort, then relax. Remind yourself to relax. Halfway. Twenty. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to walking. One last effort left, guys. Okay. Building back up. Working through the zones. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Lift it. Back up to 5k pace last time. Last minute hard work. Pin up. Pin up for myself mostly. Drive those knees. We relax. Hands. Arms and legs should be working sort of tandem. Halfway. Driving your arms will help you drive your legs. But not if you're all clenched up. So you got to relax. 15. Last 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Easing down. Slowly. Decelerating into a walking pace. Well done, guys. So, one of the reasons we're doing those sort of 5k efforts, just spend a few minutes cooling down, by the way, just walking it out. So one of the reasons we're doing those 5k efforts is because I want you to, after the session, look at what your pace was for each of those, and what's that pace kind of roughly where it should be for a 5k effort. Basically just seeing how you judge it when you've got a bit of fatigue in your legs. The reason this is important, particularly for athletes. Okay, so on the bike, when you're going to the run, it can be so hard to judge your effort and your pace because you've got both the your perception of speed has walked from being sort of 30 plus k's an hour to suddenly being at, I don't know, 12, 13, whatever your effort is, your pace is like, and so you're basically halving your speed, and so your legs are like whirring alongside, and you feel like, oh, I should be going faster, but a lot of it is just the fact that you've gone from 30, 40 k's an hour to much less than half than that. Okay, so that's one thing you've got to battle with, but also your heart rate is going through the roof when you go from that sort of, you're on a TT bike, almost horizontal position, to being bolt upright, and then using similar muscles or the same muscle groups but in a very different way. Your heart rate explodes. And so one of the things that we really want you to be able to do is just kind of use all these different tools to kind of get over that initial explosion in heart rate so you can settle into it. And so much of it is just being able to chop and change between these different indicators, and just constantly getting you into the habit of telling yourself to relax. It's potentially annoying. I know that, I get that. We're doing these sessions, it's always telling you to relax, tune up, blah, blah, blah. Probably quite irritating. But it's for a very good reason. I want to almost inception, almost get into your mind and just kind of make it part of your running process, so that when it comes to your next triathlon and you're onto a 5k pace effort, you're just learning that you might not be able to trust your perception immediately, and that you actually need to look at your pace, look at your heart rate, maybe pull it back. It's not a linear thing, remember, pull it back, and you can always accelerate if you're on a good day, So yeah, just want to kind of get you into that process, get rid of the ego, make it more of a, I don't say it sounds too boring, but yeah, almost like a checklist, a protocol. Okay, so there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that one, and that's session 5. So good job, well done.